see anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, today is Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. We call this village board meeting in order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Bush?
Here.
Trustee Frankie?
Here.
Trustee Jerish?
Here.
Trustee Prochnow?
Here.
Trustee Schmidt?
Here. We do have a quorum tonight, just one board member not here. We now move on to Pledge Allegiance and the invocation. Tonight, the invocation is from Pastor Greg from Lutheran Church of the Holy Spirit. Well, please rise. Pastor, if you want to come on down. Pastor, first.
Oh, not Pledge of Allegiance, or?
You want to lead us? We'll go Pledge Allegiance first.
Okay.
Okay. Flags to my right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Let us pray. Psalm 95. O come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us shout joyfully to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving, and let us shout joyfully to him with psalms. For the Lord is the great God and the great King above all gods. In his hand are the deep places of the earth. The heights of the hills are his also. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. O come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand. Lord Jesus, I ask you this night that you would watch over this meeting, that you would bless the words and conversation of these people, that you would guide the decisions that are made here tonight, as well as throughout the rest of this month and going into the next month here in Elk Grove Village. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for the good people of Elk Grove Village. I ask that you would come into the homes of our people and that you would bless them with your word. Thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, for your death and your resurrection for all people. In your name, amen.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Folks, please give Pastor just a second. Thank you for coming tonight.
Of course.
Great, appreciate it. At least the weather's a little better tonight.
Yeah.
Not quite as bad as it was earlier today. And always was something to take home.
Thank you so much.
And we thank you for all your support.
Absolutely.
Thank
God
you very
bless
much.
you, sir.
Thank you very much. After seeing me stand next to the pastor, now you see why I wrestled. I didn't play basketball. There's a reason behind that.
Surprised he didn't trip over you.
Yeah. Move on now to the approval of the minutes of January 9th, 2024.
I move that we approve the minutes of January 9th, 2024 as presented and dispense with the reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Trustee Prochnow, second by Trustee Frankie. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show unanimous approval. Move on to Mayor and Board of Trustees report tonight. Got a few items before I talk about an item I know some people are here about tonight and some may be watching to talk about with the businesses on Turner. Before that, I want to let everyone know the board talked tonight, obviously because it's land acquisition or sale. We're talking exec session, but just everyone know we are working and coming close to a new location for a affordable senior housing development that's looking to come to Elk Grove. So we're comfortable with what we saw today and the options as far as all that cost, all that. So hopefully next month we'll be announcing a potential affordable senior housing development coming here to Elk Grove. We're excited about that. Also, tonight we have an environmental demolition contract we're approving on the consent agenda, and that's important because that is preliminary work tearing down the church that's located by Love Street, Elk Grove Boulevard, and Tani. I remember that was the old church, I'm trying to think what,
Elk Grove
Presbyterian
Pres-
Church.
yeah.
And I remember Pastor Gorski, so I remember that. And we purchased that, and we are preparing to build eight single-family homes there. Starting to look at the layouts of it and something that's needed for the village, some single-family homes, and looking to do that, which we feel in the housing should fit the neighborhood in the village here. So we're excited about that. We're gonna, so we get some affordable senior housing coming, some single-family homes coming. We're excited about all that. Also, the next board meeting, we're gonna have representatives from Elk Grove High School in District 214 as we announce a special grant we're doing with the high school for working in an special education program, new program available for young people for career opportunities. So we're looking forward to that coming. Also tonight on the consent agenda, we will be approving a contract to purchase the Goodyear location at Bussey and Oakton. Right now, we bought the old Motel 6 site, and on part of that site, we built the new water tower, the one you can see from the tollway all over the Makers One at Water Tower. We are in agreement to buy the Goodyear, which kind of encircles part of our property, so it'll be a nice big square, I believe, square 6.5 acre site, which will make it easy for sale and development in the future. So we're looking forward to having that moving forward. Also on tonight's contract is our agreement, the RDA redevelopment agreement with Wingspan for the shopping center at Higgins and Arlington Heights Road. So everything's now lined up. All the tenants are set. The agreements are set. The development's set. Hope is now this spring they can start working on that new development. And we're extremely excited about that. Took a little longer than we thought it would, but we're kind of learning new things. We do developments like this, and we took our time to make sure everything is done properly and correctly. And one of the best things that we heard from the residents on this new development was when we had the open houses. People got to go by and look at the different options. We all gave comments, and the majority of people picked this development with Wingspan. One of the most exciting parts of it, from what we heard from people on the feedback, was the bridge we are looking to build across from Arlington Heights Road, from the shopping center or apartment building location to the Forest Preserve across the street. And tonight, we're happy to announce that Cook County Forest Preserve Committee, the main recommending body to the whole board, which is more of a formality now, has approved our bridge design and location. We're excited about it. So tonight, we'd like to unveil what the new bridge going in will look like. Caroline? This will be the view going down Arlington Heights Road of the new bridge. Elk Grove Village up prominently there as you pass underneath the bridge on Arlington Heights Road. Caroline? An overview what the bridge is going to look like. You see it going across to fit in with the apartment development on the bottom right side of the picture. You got a zigzag ramp, and you have it elongated with one turn ramp going down on the Forest Preserve side, which is on the upper left part of the picture there. You see the existing bike trail and all the rest. One thing the Forest Preserve has asked us to do, since it's not that far from the corner of Higgins Road, is to remove the bike path from Higgins Arlington Heights Road up to the bridge, so the upper right part of the picture, which we will do. We'll remove that on their behalf. Caroline? A more of a direct down look at the new bike pedestrian bridge across Arlington Heights Road there. Caroline? A little further back view of the bridge. You can see the aesthetic look, the elk logos, the welcome, the Elk Grove Village name up on there. Caroline? This is on the Forest Preserve side that you'll go across and then make one turn. If you'll notice the upper left corner, that's like a viewing area. You can sit there, look to the west, watch sunset, look at the woods, be benched up there, a couple benches up there, looking toward the Forest Preserve. Caroline? That's another angle from the Forest Preserve, looking at that viewing location up there. And what the bridge is going to look like is all nicely fenced in, first class done, beautiful location, beautiful setup. Caroline? And then at night, it's going to be lit up. The bridge is going to have lighting accents, and Elk Grove Village be lit up. So as you come down Arlington Heights Road heading into Oak Grove, so you're heading south. As you cross Higgins Road, you will see that bridge, you'll see Elk Grove Village, they'll welcome you to the community, the new shopping center development, the new apartment complex, all the new work we're doing at that corner will be highlighted, and this is like the last part of it. And this was overwhelming. Probably, about 67% of the people gave us comments liking the idea of the bridge, supporting the idea of bridge, and it makes a lot of sense to get across safely right there to use the bike bridge. If you remember, thank you, Caroline. If you remember, there are right now 3 bridges on the Bussy Woods path. One that goes across 290, getting the west side of our village and towns west of us into the woods across 290 on the path. Then there's 2 in the woods on Higgins Road, one by Argentines Road, one down near Schaumburg by 290. Those bridges, Elk Grove put all 3 of those bridges in. And it makes the path safe. It makes it so it's all interconnected without having to cross any busy streets. The one thing we did not have was getting across Arlington Heights Road in this manner. We put in some crosswalks and lights at Northwest Point and at Oakton. This now gives you the same kind of safety, easy access to the woods that you got on the other 3 bridges you already put in. The Forest Preserve is extremely thankful to the village. They're grateful for our investment to partner with them. And we selfishly kind of look at Bussy Woods as part of Elk Grove. You know, we provide first responders there. We provide first backup for police. We do take pride in that, and it's used. Obviously, we're going to be going out for some grant money. We've gotten grant money on the other bridges that we put in. We're looking for grant money on this bridge. But it's something we're excited about. It can now get moving forward at the same time they're doing the construction work on the shopping center apartments. We can get working on the bridge, get that all done. The only other thing they asked for was that we took out the Elk Grove Village sign that's on Forest Reserve land now. As you're heading south Arlington Road, you see it. Take that out, which is fine with us because we got the name across the bridge on Arlington Road, which will be more visible and lighted. We can now move that light or that sign to over by Little Higgins and the shopping center. We used to have a sign there that was older, said Elk Grove Business Park. That'll be that's down now. We'll put that sign. We can use it again. We just move it over there. So we got a sign that's been needed over there. We can make up with the one that's there. So it works out nicely. It's a long time coming. Again, we want to thank the Forest Preserve and the Commission for approving it, and we enjoyed working with them and looking forward to that getting done. So a lot happening, a lot moving on, and we're excited about it. Last thing I'd like to talk about before we have some awards to give out is a lot of conversation has been going on with the village contract that was approved in December for 25 Turner. Most people know it probably as where the Munchies is located or the Mixed Hair Salon is located. A lot has been said, an awful lot of misinformation given out. I'm being polite in saying people spoke improperly without knowledge. I don't want to say what I really think they're doing, but I'm going to be polite and nice about it. And it's unfortunate because people got to realize when people say things, if they don't know the facts, it can hurt a lot of people. And that shouldn't happen. You know, for people to say, well, I read it on Facebook, so it must be true. Or someone said this earlier, so I'm repeating it. Know the facts. Numerous people reached out to us board members. A lot contacted me. When I told them what I'm going to tell you tonight, they all said, Mayor, you guys are doing great. Thank you. You're trying to help people. You're trying to make things better. Why don't they say that in these sites? Unfortunately, not all, but there's a few people that have alternative motives when they do things. Most people just get caught up in the moment. And that's sad. But the bottom line is this. No group of people care more about this village, put more time, more energy, more effort in trying to help this village than your board members. We care about this village immensely. The work we're doing, the time, the effort, the improvements we're making, that's done to make this town a better town. Now, we have said for years, very openly, honestly, the old way of doing things is going away. Strip shopping centers are not what they used to be. That's why you see so many vacancies in them. Not just Elk Grove, it's worldwide. It's a different world. People buy things online. They'd rather do Amazon or Prime than go out and get it. It's quicker, it's easier. You got ice out, got cold weather. You don't have to go out and do it. It's easier. Now, they still serve a purpose, but not to the same magnitude or amount or scope they once did. And we're seeing that. We're changing them. We're working with them. Matter of fact, it's ironic today, the Herald did a big editorial praising towns for taking over old shopping malls. Spring Hill Mall in Dundee, the one in Stratford Square, other ones. They're changing. And the Herald says, kudos to the towns that are stepping up and buying them and looking to repurpose them, redevelop them into things that are needed today that are being done. Now, we've done that over time. I think the first one we all remember is right here next to the Village Hall, the town center. Some people are newer or younger, don't remember it, but that place was where Jewel was first located. Then Michael's was there. God, we had a Ben Franklin, we had a sporting goods store, we had a Goodyear over there. We had a lot of places. But like anything, that started to go down, less people there, and Jewel actually moved across the street where they're at now, and a new development went there. That place was empty, so blighted. One time, the village, we stepped up. I was a trustee at the time. I was a mayor's trustee. Stepped up, we bought it. And we spearheaded the redevelopment that's there. The developer came in, built the new shopping center, redeveloped it. Now it's 1,000 times better than what it was. But it's done in a new way of doing things compared to the old way of doing things. And it came out well. A couple years later, after I became mayor, not long afterwards, we developed the shopping center over by Belvedere. That was at one time, what grocery store was there?
Eagle.
The Eagle was there. Then it became an antique mart. I mean, it was all kinds of things. It was blighted. We stepped in. Now we've got the Belvedere Banquet Hall. We got Chefaloo. We got Ellie's. We got Real Time. We got the hotel, Comfort and Suite. I mean, all redeveloped, all going very well. All turned out beautiful. Sometimes government needs to step up to do that. And the last one is what we're proving tonight, the RDA, the shopping center at Grove and Arlington Road. Understand, folks, I was born and raised here. My life's been here. I grew up right behind there on Briarwood Lane, that dead end right behind the shopping center. Trustee Frankie, born and raised, his life here. Trustee Prochnow, a long time. Others have, well, Trustee Bush, younger, but he born and raised here, one of the original areas. We've all been. We all care about this village. We all know this village. We all love this village. I'll get back to it again, but Munchies was not originally Munchies. There was Cheerios Pizza when I was in high school. The Cheerios family owned it. And he went to school with me. And so again, tonight, we're stepping up. People bring up a lot about the bowling alley, Rose Garden, all the changes there. How that all started, again, was the bowling alley was for sale for a number of years. Debbie, the Handler family, had it from the very beginning. And they thought they had a couple buyers before the pandemic hit. The pandemic, the buyers went away. They couldn't find anybody. How we started getting involved was not one, but two used car developments came to our engineering department looking how they could maybe buy the bowling alley, turn down, and turn them into used car lots. The final nail was when someone came in that wanted to buy the bowling alley and turn it into a giant used storage place. And on their big curved roof, put up there, used storage, all big giant letters and all that. We said, that's not the vision we have for this village. Then we checked in with the owner of the shopping center, the Neiman, and believe it or not, they had that up for sale. But the problem they had is the exact same problem that's going on over on Turner by the Munchie Mix location. And that is, that shopping center needed so much work, it made it cost prohibitive for anyone to buy it and use it. The parking lot alone over there needs $3.5 million of work to get that parking lot up to code and up to working. $3.5 million. Just the parking lot. The roof's got to be redone. There's work on walls, plumbing issues, many other issues. So it was cost prohibitive to fix and keep going. It needed to be redeveloped. So that takes someone stepping in. This board's thought was, we've known the businesses that are there for a long time. Let's be honest, one of our trustees, Trustee Jerish, been there from the beginning, Jerish Bakery. We all know that. We all love it. We know that. We wanted to make sure whoever stepped up to take care of this cared about the businesses there. We want to preserve them. Vince at the bike shop, been there forever. Does a great job, very good in this community, right by the woods, perfect. Vinny's, Junior and Vinny's Pizza, Nick at Subway, Jerish Bakery, Tensuki. They've all done phenomenal. Rose Garden. It's the only kind of restaurant we have in the village left on that. So we want to make sure we stepped up because we cared about them. When you have outsiders coming to do projects, they could care less who's there. It's all about this. Whatever increases their profits, what they go for. When we look at it, we look at what's best for the village and try to work with businesses that have been here that have been good for the community. A partnership. And that's why the redevelopment agreement we're approving tonight, Tensuki stayed, VV Nail stayed, Vinny stayed, Subway stayed, the bike shop stayed, Jerish Bakery stayed. They all stayed. Why? Because we worked with them. We got it to work well. The only one not going to be there is the imaging company. But we work together. So that's why you want a partnership like that. A lot of people talk about, well, look what you did at Rose Garden. We did. Because we knew that's something we want to keep going, because that's something that the community doesn't have. We don't have a family restaurant in Elk Grove. We really don't. It's a shame. So we worked with them. Timing couldn't have been better. The old barbecue place, Sweet Baby Ray's, was for sale. Mike, the owner, worked with us, was very fair on the price to the village. And we could work with Sweet Baby or Rose Garden to move them over there. Now they got a beautiful new place. No one doesn't say the new place is beautiful compared to the old place. And the business is booming. Now, remember this though. When we work with businesses, when they're being bought out or taken over, the driving force behind what happens with the business is the lease they have. The more valuable the lease, the more they get as we partner with them. Example, Rose Garden, what they paid in 1 month for the rent, Munchie's pays in 6 months. The hair place pays in almost 9 months. That's how big Rose Garden was paying in rent. That much money. Over six times as much as Munchie's paying. You got months and months or years on that lease, that's worth a lot of money. So there's things that go into play when we figure out how we work with them financially. So that kind of leads us to where we're at today. We don't reach out to buy property. The property owners reach out to the village. And we've been acquiring property for a while. Why? There's an old saying, would you rather drive the bus or ride on the bus? We feel it's better to drive the bus. When you drive the bus, we can put in what fits the village, what can be successful, what works in the long term. Like I said before, last we won was a giant used car lot at the bowling alley. By us controlling bowling alley, we were able to drive the bus and get now that beautiful development that's coming that everyone has said nothing but good things about it, our public meetings, everywhere else. But that only happened because we own the property. If we didn't, right now you'd have about 50 new used cars sitting out there with big bright searchlights going, trying to sell them. And I think no one in this room would like to see that. None of us did. Now as you're welcome to Elk Grove way, sign. So again, these businesses look to us if we're interested in buying them. And we look at long-term plans. We've got long-term plans all over this village. What we'd like to see down the road, maybe change, maybe keep up to date, all that. And that's important. And that's important because look at some towns around us that haven't done that. They're dying on the vine. They're dying. We're not. Our community has never been doing better than it is right now. Our business park is almost completely full. Remember, the biggest business park in North America? Almost 65 million square feet and a little over 1% vacancy? That's unheard of. We got businesses knocking our doors all the time looking to come to Elk Grove. And I know people, oh yeah, more data centers, more data centers. Data centers are not the majority of business in Elk Grove. They don't even make up 6% of it. But they're good businesses, folks. You want to know why you got the lowest tax rates in all this area? Why we're able to give money back in rebates to the community, whether it's a water rebates or gift cards, is because we are doing so well. And those businesses are one of the reasons we're doing so well, along with everything else. We've got the best schools. We've got the best park district. We've got the best library. We've got the best police, fire, public works, because we can afford to get the best. And that's what this village only deserves, is the best. So we have to think long term. We got to prepare to keep going. We don't want a bunch of vacant buildings. We don't want a bunch of empty buildings. We don't want a bunch of buildings in disrepair. We want them being vibrant and going. Because when someone wants to locate where they want to live here or move a business here, they drive around and they look and see what's in the town. When Microsoft picked Elk Grove to locate a $10 billion development, $10 billion invested in the community, the head guy that met with me, who, yes, was good friends with Bill Gates, told me, Mayor, we drove around your town a lot of times. We don't want to invest that kind of money in a town that's got problems or going to slide down. We want to ride them up, not going down with them. So it makes a difference in people's eyes what you have. They love the way that new tech park looked. They want to be part of that. And that's important for us. So what happened was, as was passed last June contract, we were first reached out last summer, or actually in the spring, by Wintrust Bank. Remember the Oak Grove Bank and Trust? It's right there on Turner, next to the strip by Mix and Munchies. They reached out to us and said, hey, would you have an interest in buying our building? They really had a hard time selling a bank there. It's not a good location for a bank. The building's beautiful, but they want to sell. And we knew long term that this location, anyone that goes there will not dispute this. It's going to need some help. That whole corner is going to need some help down the road. We know that. Right now, maybe not. In a year or two or a few years, yes. So we thought, here we have an opportunity to buy the bank. They were asking $1.4 million. We got it down to $1 million. They were very fair with us. We bought the bank in June. Then a former trustee owned 2 buildings on Turner, Lee Gar. He reached out to us. He had 2 buildings there. One, he had a dentist that moved out that's been vacant for years and very disrepair. It's those ones that look almost like a bungalow style buildings there. That one. Then the other one still has 2 tenants, but the leases are coming up. That actually has blue tarps. I'm not kidding you. Go on Google, look at it. Jeff Frankie did. You'll see it. There's blue tarps up there holding the water out of the building. That's how bad these buildings were. We bought that. When the lease comes up on the tenants, they're going to be moving on to small little businesses. That's how bad these buildings are. We bought those. Well, lo and behold, the owner of 25 Turner reached out to the village. And they said right up front to Matt, they said, Matt, why don't you tell them exactly what they said to you?
So they were selling the building for redevelopment purposes. It couldn't be maintained anymore, and it's being sold as a redevelopment.
And it's being sold as redevelopment because the cost to upgrade it, repair it, and fix it far exceeded what any tenant's going to pay in rent or want to be there. The roof alone is over $675,000 just for the roof. Not counting the parking lot. Now, if anyone walks in the middle of that building where the old Berkshire Hathaway used to be, that's got mold growing on the walls. That roof, that water, unbelievable. The bathrooms are beyond belief. It's gone, folks. It's gone. The tenants there know it too. We all know it. So, again, he was selling it for redevelopment, not refurbishing it. Can't be. So, our thought as a board was, okay, we talked about this location, we talked about this area. Do we just let someone else come in, take it over, and do what they want? Or do we get it to prepare and also work with the tenants that are there. We all know Marie and how long Munchie's been there. You know, the mix, those young ladies have worked their tail off to build the business up, done a great job on looks in their stuff. We want to work with them to get things going and get things done. Again, when another person buys it, he's worried about the bottom dollar. He's not worried about trying to help people and all that. So we decided to do a contract with the owner of the building. We passed it on December 12th. Now remember, anytime you do a contract for purchase of property, you have a due diligence period. That could be you want to maybe check for environmental issues. That may be when you want to check for leases, how you work with the land tenants, they're going to stay, move out, whatever. We had that due diligence going on with the shopping center before. We did the RDA tonight with Wingspan. So we knew that. The one thing we didn't want to happen was the tenants to read about it in the paper. So there's 3 tenants there. You have the Mix, you have the Turner Liquor, and you had Munchies. I said I'll go talk to the owners of the Mix and Turner Liquor. Trustee Frankie was going to go talk to Marie at Munchies. Trustee Frankie spent many Friday nights for years and years at Munchies. We thought, what a good partnership. Because just like I did at the first shopping center at Arlington Road Higgins, I think it's more important that we come out and talk to them face to face. Not some cold letter, not some cold. Go out and meet the people and talk to them personally, one-on-one. So we set up to do that. I'll take responsibility. Jeff and I had our timing goofed up. I planned on going out Saturday the 16th. Jeff thought I was going to go out later than that. So I went out on Saturday, December 16th. Remember that date. Went on Saturday, December 16th. I met with Heather from the Mix, and I met with the owner, Neji from Turner Liquors. When I walked in, I didn't have an appointment or anything like that with the Mix. I walked in. Heather called, the ladies were there. I said, hey, Heather, can I talk to you? She said, sure. We went in her office privately, and I started explaining to her what had happened. And I told her straight up, I said, this building's not really feasible. If you do stay, they're going to put in so much money. They all have to pay part of the cost, not all, but part of the cost for the upgrades, improvements. It's going to be a lot. I said, but we will partner with you. They'll pay to help you move to a new location or whatever you want to do. But we said from the beginning we'll do that. And we also let them know that whenever we close, it might be 2, 3, 4 months till if you're moving to another location, whatever you're doing, we won't charge you rent for those months either. That's worth a lot of money. That's thousands of dollars additional we would do. So we agreed to talk. And matter of fact, Heather and I talked again during the week. Then I went again on the 23rd. I'll explain in a minute why that. Then we've talked several times since then. We were going back and forth, looking at locations. We tried finding so we're working together. Then I also met with the owner of the liquor store. And we talked about things. So that's ongoing. And then that afternoon on the 16th, I got a call from Marie, upset, and Marie was rightfully so to be upset. I had thought Jeff was going to go in and talk to her. He thought it was a later time. I'll take responsibility for it. So I called Marie back that night. Mr. Munchie was already closed. So we talked on Monday. And first thing I told her is, Marie, here's what happened. I apologize. I thought Jeff had spoken to you. I was there. I could walk down. I said, no problem. We'll go. And she said, fine. She accepted my apology. We started talking. And again, what I told her from the beginning, Marie, we can help you move to a new location. We can give you additional funding if you want to leave. We can work together. One thing Marie did say right away, though, she said, I don't want to move to another location. She did say that right away. I said, fine. Then we'll work on some kind of financial thing. Believe it or not, unbeknownst to what you read on Facebook and stuff, Marie and I had an agreement worked out in principle by the 23rd of December, within a week, actually within about 5 days. We got the parameters of an agreement. The only thing we're working on is final dollar amount that will be with her. And that's being based on what happens with the Mix and the liquor store. Because there's only so much money that's available to work with everyone. So we got to work all the agreements out before we get to resolution. But Marie and I had an agreement by the 23rd. It was done. Matter of fact, what happened was, as I said earlier, went out on the 16th, talked to Marie on Monday the 18th, talked several times to Marie during that week. Then on the 23rd, I went back out because, one, I wanted to talk to Marie again and say, Marie, I'm going to be going out of town the day after Christmas. I'll be back New Year's Day. So you won't hear from me, but that's fine because nothing's going to be finalized that quick. It's the holidays and all that. And she knew that the mix was looking around and what they were doing. It was going to take some time. So I told Marie that on the 23rd. I went down, talked to Nagy at the Turner Liquors, told him the same thing, no problem. Then I walked in to the mix, just like I did the week before. I was going to let the ladies know that too, again, on all that. And so that's what happened on that. I'm just making sure I get everything right and all that. When it comes to moving people, doing stuff like that, as I said earlier, it's based on leases. The mix has a long-term lease. I'm not going to go into too much details because they've never said anything too much publicly, so it's protected proprietary. But they got many years on the lease. The liquor store is very short-term, and Marie's is a month-to-month lease. I know someone posted it was December 31st, or in 2031, it's a month-to-month. And I told Marie I was going to talk tonight. She said, please explain my side on this, and I will. I'm open and honest with people on this stuff. Marie's lease was set up in it's been a long-time lease, where every 3 years she would have to sign an extension and give it to the owner. So she would put in there, yes, I'm extending for 3 more years. Sign it, send it to the owner. Every 3 years. She stopped doing that a while ago because, as Marie says, and I respect where she's coming from, the place needed a lot of work, as we all know. And she didn't want to do the personal indemnification with the new owner. So what Marie started doing was she started paying her checks every month by writing on the memo section month to month, and then she signed the check. As our counsel will tell you, if you don't sign the extensions and you send payment checks for your rent every month, month to month, your lease now has become a month-to-month lease. So if everyone in that building, remember I told you how these are based, is based on value of your leases. Marie is basically a month-to-month lease. If someone else bought that location, all they have to do is close and give Marie 30 days notice and she's done. No moving costs, no buyouts, no nothing. We're not doing that. We're doing the opposite. Now I know people say, well, Mayor, that's tax dollars. There's things we can allocate in ways as government that gives us the flexibility to work with Marie to help with compensation. Hence why Marie and I have come to an agreement in principle, just waiting for the final dollar amount. So since before December 23rd, we've got an agreement, Marie and I, on Munchies. So long before the first Facebook post went up there, we've got an agreement. We're working very well with Munchies. With the mix. Very well with the ladies. Heather's been phenomenal to work with. What a class lady to work with. The problem we have is people go off on tangents and they just take off. Very few people have been in this village since before me or the trustees here. February 1960 for me. They're in the 1950s. We love this village. We care about this village. But then you get people going on Facebook. And someone writes on Facebook, oh, the mayor walked in out of blue on December 23rd and said, we're buying the bill and you're out in March. That is the biggest piece of BS I've ever heard. Matter of fact, Heather from the mix took the time to go on Facebook and set the record straight. No, the mayor came out on December 16th. The mayor talked to me again during the week. The mayor just came in again on the 23rd. And she goes, we've talked many times since. Leave us alone, she said, give us our privacy. We're working through this. But people go on there and say, 100% that's what the mayor did. No, someone said actually 1,000% that's what the mayor did. Now, if I'm just sitting there reading from the outside, I go, God, what an A person the mayor is to do that. But that's not what happened, folks. Nowhere near that. And people went off on other tangents. Not true. Not true. We wouldn't do that. You know, we may disagree. You may think some things we do is not good. But being cold-hearted to people in this community is the last thing I ever would be. I give my heart and soul for this community every day. And I would never do that to anybody. And show you how bad it got was Marie's daughter would post a lot of things online. She's the one that posted what I did supposedly on the 23rd. Then she posts, well, the mayor hasn't talked to my mom since December 23rd. After I talked to her on January 3rd when I got back from my trip, she posted that on January, I think, 16th. Nothing further from truth. Marie and I were talking on the phone. I said, Marie, she goes, no, Craig, you talked to me. No, I know, that's not right. Matter of fact, a week ago today at 2:30 in the afternoon, I was in a long conversation with Marie. And I said, Marie, please. She goes, what can I do, Craig? This is not right what's going on. I said, just go online and tell people the truth. Tell them that we've been working together. We got a deal in the parameters. Get done. Well, while we're talking, believe it or not, her daughter goes online and writes, the mayor won't call my mom back. The mayor won't return her calls. The mayor is not responsive. I go, Marie, I'm on the phone with her. I go, Marie, my wife walked in and showed it to me. I go, Marie, your daughter posted 30 seconds ago that I'm not talking to you. I won't call you back. What's going on? She goes, Craig, I'll call you back. She called me back about 5 minutes later. The post her daughter put up was taken down. See what I'm saying, folks? Now, that's not right. I would never do that. I return calls all the time. I've got names here of people that called me over the past 2 weeks. I've called everyone back. Everyone I call back. I talked to a gentleman for an hour. He actually lives store at the Chuck Zedek's old house in Louisiana. Talked to him for an hour on the phone. Tell him exactly what happened. And he goes, well, that's not what I read on Facebook. I said, exactly. So, again, folks, we all love Munchies too. Christ, Jeff was there for 20 years every Friday night. He really loves Munch. So we all do.
I do.
But we got certain parameters we got to work within, but we will bend over more backwards to help each of those businesses than anyone else ever will. But the bottom line is things change. This building, our inspectors won't walk on the roof. They will not walk on the roof. That's not good. That building, time has come, just like others have. But we will work with the tenants to help them. If we can't work it out with the tenants, we can walk away. This village can walk away from the contract. I would not want to be in the tenant's shoes when a private developer comes in, because they don't care about people. They don't know the people. They care about this, the bottom line, the profit. So the bottom line is this, folks. Have faith in the people that have helped you over the years in the village government. You're here for a reason. We work our tail off to make this a better town. Again, we may agree to disagree on things, but we don't need to be disagreeable. But don't believe anywhere near everything written on Facebook. Jeff and I were laughing before, a bad laugh though, when we saw all these people. No, the mayor walked in on the 23rd and said, you're out in March. First time, he told us. Someone said, 1,000% true, I know that. Nothing further. Matter of fact, Heather felt, like I said, so bad she had to go online and tell people that. No, that's not what happened. Again, and Marie's on the phone with me when her own daughter posts something that's not true. Marie says, oh my God, I'm sorry, Craig, I'm sorry. I said, it's fine, Marie, just straighten things out. That's why you saw posted up there, Marie said, she's working with the mayor. And once she posted, notice how the comments start dropping off? Now, I wish she would have said, I've been working with the mayor since December 18th, which is true. But she did say, work with the mayor. We have been. We wouldn't do anything to hurt people. Not good people. Marie's a good person. The people at the mix are good people. These are good people. We want to see them do well. So that's the whole story of what's going on. That's the story of what's happening. I probably told more than I should have, but I think this town needs to understand what's going on. And if you're ever not sure, don't go on Facebook asking for an answer. Call 847-437-8226. Call me. People don't hesitate. Call me. I'll tell you. You may not like what I say, which is fine, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm never going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you why we're doing what we're doing. You may not agree with it. We'll agree to disagree. But I'm not going to mix words with you. Reach out. I know you reached out to the trustees. Reach out to us. I had 9 people at the fitness center last Wednesday. I went through the whole thing going on for 20 minutes right by the front counter. 9 people. You know what they all said afterwards? Well, geez, Mayor, if we'd known that, we wouldn't have gotten upset with you. I said, well, call me next time. We'll tell you. Everything I said, I told Marie I was going to say tonight. From her upset about not fixing, upset about the personal indemnification. She said, please tell him that. That's why she didn't like the way it was going. I understand that. So I told Marie everything I was going to say tonight. And she knows that. She knows that. Again, I wasn't going to blindside anybody. I'm not going to talk more, except I do want to say, Heather at the mix, class lady. Class lady. She's been phenomenal to work with. So, that's that. Now, I do know there's 2 people, we might as well let them talk now. They want to approach us on the Munchies thing. We'll let them do it now with the board's concurrence instead of waiting until the end of the meeting. Eric Childress, is Eric? Do you would like to come down and ask a question?
Not a question, I'd like to just read something if I may.
Sure.
Mayor Johnson and board, I appreciate you providing more information about what is going on, so forgive me if I did not know all the facts on Facebook or coming into this meeting, but I did want to give a statement on behalf of Munchies. My name is Eric Childress. I'm a board member myself of the Chicago Film Critics Association. And in the 46 years I lived as a resident of Elk Grove Village, I never once made it to one of these board meetings. Perhaps I felt everything was going just fine and had no need to voice any of my concerns. But these recent developments had brought me here tonight to make sure that I got to put in a good word. The pandemic affected us all. Due to the loss of or hiatus of my various jobs within the film community during that time, we were forced to move out of Elk Grove and into the neighboring Schaumburg in June 2021. During the period that has followed, Elk Grove has never left my heart. And in fact, there were 4 things that always kept me coming back here week in and week out. One of them, my neighborhood competition zone, Elk Grove Bowl, sadly was quick to follow after a brief reopening. In the same mall, Jarosh Bakery, where my mom and I are back every week to get cookies and sweet rolls. Every birthday in my family has their cake made there, and they have even made the giant celebratory cakes for both our annual Critics Awards dinner and for the Chicago Critics Film Festival, which I produce. The third is Elk Grove Cinema, my local movie theater, which I frequent nearly every week, not only to do many of my jobs, but where I also produce and host a regularly bi-monthly screening series where the audience get a movie and a Q&A discussion with a member of our organization. The fourth, of course, is Munchies Pizza. Now, the history of my family and Munchies goes back to its inception in the neighborhood. My dad and mom would take us there regularly for pizza and fries. I honed my skills on Pac-Man and Galaga on their desktop game consoles. We watched Game 4 of the Cubs' 1984 championship series there, where Steve Garvey hit a walk-off homer and tied up the series. Okay, not every memory was happy. But in all those years, not a week went by where I did not crave their food. Their perfect sauce, the unique crust that you wouldn't even think about leaving on the plate. When I went to another high school, I envied all of those at Elk Grove High who said that they would go there on their lunch hour while I was forced to eat pizza puffs and Connie's at Driscoll Catholic. But it wasn't just the perfect food. It was the atmosphere. For us kids, it was the video games and jukebox. For the adults, a place to watch sports, have a drink at their bar, and interact with their families and friends. When my dad passed away in 2011, they took care of us and provided food for his gathering. Marie, Joe, and their family knew us, as I'm sure they know many of the folks in this community. And many of them, like us, fairly likely went back not just for the human touch, but for the affordability as well. While many corporate businesses take advantage of the word inflation and gouge their prices, Munchies is still the best price in town and can prove it to you by showing you their prices from 1983 in the restaurant compared to now. Now imagine if every business in the world did that. During the pandemic, when funds were tight, the one place I knew I could go to treat ourselves to a large pizza and fries was Munchie's. Every weekend. And that continues to this day, even though I live now 20 minutes away. Now, the mere thought of Munchie's not being around anymore is one that is too sad to contemplate. Businesses, big and small, all have their own reasons for not existing anymore. Some cannot compete, others just can't get off to the right start or bring awareness. In the rare case, some get the grace of retirement. Munchie's just celebrated their 40th anniversary last year. They saw adjacent businesses come and go. Even when they did not have the ability to make deliveries, people said, no matter. It was worth the drive. When we all heard from 2020 and beyond were legendary businesses in the Chicagoland area and across this country having to close up shop, unable to cope with the pressures of the pandemic, Munchie's endured. And as a staple of this community through 5 decades, the mere thought that they may be forced to close because of real estate loopholes is unfathomable. We can't control everything that happens in this country, but we can certainly fight for those in our community who provide us with more than just our basic human needs. What is the point on the call to support family-owned businesses if one as enduring as Munchie's is simply thrown out with the rubble of another development? With no blueprint that puts whatever might go into that mall or Turner up and over the Munchie's building like the end of the movie Up. And don't think that the people of Elk Grove are not ready to buy all those balloons to make sure Munchie's continues to fly. Now again, please forgive me if I did not know all the details coming into this evening. But what I do know, because I have spoken to Marie as well, is that she is not ready to retire. The family wants to keep the business going. I still have to wait in the line every weekend to get my pizza and fries. Mayor Johnson, years ago, you personally wrote me a note thanking me for helping to put together and host $1 screenings at Elk Grove Cinema in celebration of your anniversary here. I would hope that the small attention it took to thank a local for their small contribution to this community would be escalated to everyone's full attention when it came to making sure Munchie's continues to exist and thrive as part of this community. Because I would hate to think that the next time I hear the phrase, "it takes a village," that it did not apply to Elk Grove. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And he mentioned about the, during the pandemic, one of the first things Marie said when I talked to her about all this, she immediately, to her credit, thanked me. For I was one to help her get her PPP loan to help her survive during the pandemic. She did not know about it. I told her about it, gave her ideas how to do, how to contact, how to work through the bank and all that. And she did still remember that. She did thank me. She goes, you helped me get through the pandemic and stuff. So again, this is not a personal thing. If we don't buy that building, someone else will. It'll be gone. The difference is, do we want to work together as a community, trying to help her through the thing? That's why Marie and I have come up to an agreement. We have an agreement done, just final dollar amounts. Or do we want to leave it in the hands of a developer from Kentucky or New York or something? And that's the thing, we're working on that. So we all know that. And again, some things are here, some things change. Elk Grove Cinema, how long ago was, you probably don't remember the Jerry Lewis Cinema there and stuff, do you?
I remember, yes.
Yeah. So you see, that changed. It's not the same cinema once was. It changed, it adopted with times. It changed recently when they put all the new seats in, new kind of seat and stuff. It changed up to have time. And again, like I say, even with Marie, our first offer was, we'll help you move. We offered to help her move somewhere more suitable for her and stuff. She don't want to move. She kept telling me many times, Craig, I only got 1 or 2 more years. I only got maybe 2 years top, 2 years top. So that's why we're working together, and that's why we came up with an arrangement on that. But I thank you for your comments and all that. Then the last one, I think, was John J. Yes. Oh, John.
Thank you. So, my name is John Jaglowitz, and I am a former resident of Elk Grove, 30 years, 67 to 97. And I'm reading this statement on behalf of my mother-in-law, Marie. the owner of Munchies. She's not here tonight because it's been way too much stress for her. She's had some recent health issues, and she's just upset beyond explaining, and it wouldn't be good for her to be here. And she does not want the added attention. She doesn't need it. She never asked for this. So here's just a brief letter on behalf of Marie. I have had a great relationship with Mayor Johnson for the last 27 years. He's been very supportive and helpful along the way. During the COVID pandemic,
Hang on. Okay.
as you mentioned, he was very supportive and frequently checked in with me, which I greatly appreciated. This current situation has been very unfortunate, and I did not bring this upon myself. I've enjoyed doing business in Elk Grove the past 40 years. The community and residents are outstanding, many of whom I consider friends. My hope is that Mayor Johnson and I can come to a reasonable resolution and that we can be fairly compensated in recognition of our lease, which runs through May 31st of 2031. Ideally, it's my wish that we be relocated within the village and maintain a monthly rent similar to what she's paying today. This will allow me to provide the high-quality food at the same price points. Thank you to our wonderfully loyal customers and for all their support through the years. We wouldn't have made it without you. So, a couple things based on what you said. The whole story about the development, the bowling alley and all that, we would love to be afforded those same opportunities, right? The lease in which Marie signed, she's been through 5 landlords through the years, right? And each time somebody else took over, the building received less and less care, and that's why it's in the state that it's at today, right? I mean, you're
bad.
right. The roof is bad. It's unsafe, right? And she was always promised that those things would be taken care of, and she is always willing to take part in the cost of that, right? I think the parking lot was done one time, and she paid her portion of that. But she had a personal guarantee from 83 all the way through 2002, and then when that tenant took over, she didn't sign it at the advice of her attorney. She had a loyal track record, paying all of her rents, never missing a mortgage payment or a lease payment, always on time. And as the repairs never accumulated, why would you sign a personal agreement? If somebody were to get hurt in that facility, say the roof fell in and somebody hit and landed on somebody in the restaurant, if she would have signed a personal guarantee, whatever the insurance for the business didn't pay, they could come after her house, her living, her livelihood. And that's, you don't want that, right? And so she would never, at the advice of her attorney, sign a personal agreement. And she's proven track record that she never missed a payment. 2020, the new landlord, I think the one that you purchased the property from, Omland Ventures, again, asked her to sign that personal guarantee. In the middle of a pandemic, without knowing what's going to happen to any kind of a restaurant, eat in, dine out, whatever, there's no way she should sign something like that, especially in the condition the building was in. It just kept getting worse and worse. For example, potholes in that parking lot frequently, right? A woman tripped, fell, came in, complained about it. Marie called Omland and said, hey, can you get out here and fix the hole in the parking lot? He says, just throw some rocks in it. It'll be fine. I mean, think about that. That is not fair, right? I'm acknowledging you've been in touch with her, right? I think there's some gaps in the communication. The timeline's a little different. There's been some missed phone calls. There's been a week or two that have gone by.
Well, what I told Marie was, and I've been keeping her up to date, because I
Yep.
know you obviously know her better than I do.
Yeah.
But we all know Marie. And I keep telling her, I said, Marie, it's going to take some time, relax, because we've got an agreement. Marie and I have an agreement already. We even have a dollar amount attached to it. I'm just trying to see if I can get the dollars to match up to what she wants. If I can, it's done. So we're good. But I keep telling Marie, it's gonna take a couple weeks. I'll get back to you in a couple weeks, let you know where we stand. So I've been keeping her updated all the way. I just, like I say, I talked to her a week ago today for like almost an hour and a half. I talked to her, but we're on board. Like I say, we're good with that. You know, we've got an agreement. And like I say, if I can get the dollars, we got 100% agreement. So that's what I'm waiting on.
Okay, so Tina and I are not aware of an actual agreement. I mean, you know, we consulted with Marie today. I mean,
Talk-
so,
Your mom and I have worked it out. We've talked about, we talked dollar
So you-
amounts, we talked how it would work. We've talked it all the way through.
Okay, may I speak also? I'm not sure if we're still here, but my mother has said from day one, she does not want to retire. She wants to stay in business. Where you're saying she told you from day one she wants to leave,
No,
that
no,
is
no.
a false statement.
What I said from day one, your mom said three things. I said to her, I said, Marie, if you want to move, we'll help you move. She said, no, I don't want to move. I don't want to move. I don't want to go paying those taxes. I don't want to pay. I don't want to move. I said, okay. I said, we could always work out an arrangement to buy you out. And I said, otherwise I'm not, or we will walk away. We don't make a deal with the tenants. We'll walk away as a village. And she goes, I'm not sure if I want that to happen, because she knows what's going on there. So where do you think we've come to an agreement on? I won't say, because I don't want to step on your mom's toes on that, but we've come to agreement. We actually come to a dollar amount. It's all done.
Well,
And now
it's
we're just
going back
waiting
and
to see.
forth.
Huh? No, we have a dollar amount right now that she wants. She gave me a dollar
Okay,
amount
that she wants, but nothing that you have agreed upon.
I said, exactly. You're exactly right. I told her, I said, Marie, I would like to get that for you, but I've got to see what is spent on the totality of the package of buying the land and the other agreements with the other tenants. And I told her that. I said, until I get that, Marie, I can't guarantee you I can get you the dollar amount you want. Now, it may happen. And I keep telling her, I said, Marie, just be patient. Just run your business, keep going, everything's fine. Wait till I get that done. It's going to take time because other businesses are looking around. It takes time to get things set up. But I've told you about that many times, Tina, all the time. So she knows that, and we're fine on that. She's the one that was on the phone with me last Tuesday saying, Mayor,
Again,
Craig,
she had to
what do
call
I
you.
write to make this right? She goes, I feel bad what you're going through, Craig. I feel bad. And Tina, you're the one that wrote some of the stuff.
Okay,
that's
so let
not
me
right.
get back to that.
No, let me finish up. Let me finish, Tina. So your mom said, what can I put on there to show we're good, you and I? I said, just go up there and tell them the truth. I told her from the beginning, I said, Marie, just put the truth on there, that I've been talking to you since the 18th. We've had an agreement in principle since before the 23rd, and I'm still working with you. That's all I want you to put on there.
No, on the 23rd, there was not an agreement
Yes, there was.
made.
We
No,
had an
there
agreement
wasn't.
before the 23rd.
No, there wasn't. And
Well, Tina, you
I
weren't
will
there.
tell you
I was
that
there with your mom.
I
was there.
You keep emphasizing the dates of the 16th and 17th. You're talking about a week's difference. However,
16, 17, it's 1 day difference.
Oh, you're talking, I said the 23rd, you said that you talked to her on the 17th.
18th. She called me on the
Okay,
16th. I talked to her on Monday the 18th.
regardless. However, I found out about, and that's when she told me later, I found out about it on the 23rd. My mother was so upset. I knew something was wrong with her. I finally made her tell me what is going on, and she told me 2 days before Christmas, hysterically upset about it. She didn't want to upset me about it and ruin my holidays as her holidays were ruined. So that's the discrepancy in the dates. So
Then why would you post 2 weeks after the 23rd saying the mayor's not called my mom back since the 23rd when I
Okay.
talked to her on the 3rd?
No,
at
what
length?
I put on there was that you said that you talked to her on January 2nd.
Third.
And if you read the post prior to that, you did not have any answers for her on January 2nd.
We talked on January 3rd, but.
January 3rd, what, okay.
What do you mean? I told her the same thing I told her on 23rd, Tina. I said that I'm still working with the other tenants. It's going to take time. Be patient, because we already have an agreement. We have a dollar amount that she wants, and the
Okay.
parameters of the thing. We've got that worked out. I'm just trying to get to that dollar amount that she wants. I'm working on that. I said, I don't have it. I'm working on it. Give me time. But you put a long diatribe, setting the record straight, and you said, and the mayor's not talked to my mom since the 23rd December, which was not truthful. That's
We had a date
inaccurate,
wrong,
that's
right.
not truthful.
I had the date wrong.
And
I
then,
just
you
explained
also
that
last
to you.
Did you correct
Tuesday,
that, though?
you
Can you
posted
correct
on
it?
the phone with your mom, you post on a website talking to Judy, you say, the mayor's not returning phone calls, the mayor won't call us back. And I read that to your mom right there, and no kidding, 5 minutes later, you took it off the post.
When you're talking about someone's livelihood and who has been in business for 4 years or 40 years, do you really think that 3 weeks or 4 weeks is an acceptable time to be told, hold on, we're working on it, especially after being told that after 90 days of closing that they would have to be out?
Who told him 90 days he has to be out? Not me. Never said that to her. Never said a word.
That has been
Matter of
said.
fact, I told your mom, like I told the other owners, straight up. I said, when we close, you may need 2, 3, maybe even 4 months to get set up, whether you're relocating or whatever you're doing. We're not going to charge you rent for those months until you're out. We went that far further for him to help him out.
And we
in your mom's
appreciate
case,
that. I
that's
understand that.
$16,000 extra in her pocket, and she was so grateful. She goes, thank you, thank you. And I said, add it on what dollar amount we're talking about, Marie. That makes it even a lot more better.
Yeah,
So-
but you do have to understand, we can't be in business that whole time when we have to get rid of our equipment and close down the business, right? You do recognize that it's not 4 months. It takes quite a while to get rid of everything. So please stop saying $16,000.
Well, you can
It's
stay-
nothing like that.
Pardon?
It wouldn't even be close to $16,000.
Your rent is $4,000 a month.
However, we would not be able to be there 4 months because we would have to
You gotta
close
start,
down a
you gotta
restaurant.
start selling the equipment. You have
We
to have a
gotta sell
restaurant
our,
sale
we
and all
gotta
that,
go out
so-
of business, we have to get rid of our
Yeah.
food, we have, there's, you know.
means you're not gonna be
That's
open.
nothing that's done overnight.
Right.
So that's not $16,000. So all I'm saying, and I've said this from the beginning, I love Elk Grove. I worked here for years. I have many friends in this community. I think it's a beautiful place. My husband and I, when we first got married, lived in Elk Grove for 2 years. I love Elk Grove. I have nothing bad to say about any of the residents. I just want my mother and my family, who have literally busted their asses for 40 years, to get what they have coming fair.
And that's what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Okay?
And that's what I'm
Well,
trying to say.
That's all
And
that we
Tina,
ask.
And
That's all that we
if I
ask.
can,
well, then what I ask is to please, especially being that my mother is so completely stressed out, don't go 3 and 4 weeks without communication.
I haven't. Tina, I've never done that. And Tina, what I would appreciate
And I
is-
understand over the holidays, you were away.
And
or-
I stopped in and told her, but Tina, I'd appreciate if you talk straightforward, don't make up stuff in the future.
I do
Like
not
the-
make everything,
Tina,
I
it's in
stand by
printing.
every single thing
I've got it
I've
right there, it's in
said.
printing, what you said. You want me to read it to you?
I have stood by everything I've said.
Okay, you stand by everything you say, right here. We do have a lease until 2031, which we know, but that
And
seems to be a
here's the
problem.
lease right here.
Right.
We do have
But
the
You
that-
lease.
have a copy of.
That, I've got a copy.
Yes,
Your mom gave me a
2031.
copy.
Yes.
But that seems to be a problem with some sort of village. Those are details we've been waiting to hear back from Craig Johnson since December 23rd. Yes, it ruined the holidays. My mother did tell Craig she's not ready to retire. Since June 23rd, December 23rd, we haven't called you. I talked to your mom on January 2nd. You wrote this
Okay,
thing
again,
on January
that is-
16th.
You did not have any information to tell her.
But you said I didn't talk to your mom since December 23rd.
Okay. Well,
That's
I don't know
I talked
what
to her
you
on the
talked
3rd.
about. I don't know what you talked about. You could have talked about the weather for all I know. All I know is she came out of the conversation
Tina, now you're
with
playing
very
games.
little information.
You're playing games now. And
No,
then for
I'm
you to
not playing
text,
games.
for you to text that I don't return phone calls, that I don't respond to your messages, and your mom's
I
on the
never
phone
said-
with me.
I never said you
Yes,
didn't
you
return
did. Your
phone
mom, saw it and she got mad. She was pissed. And she goes, I'll take care of this, Craig. And sure enough, 5 minutes later, you took it down. What I'm saying, Tina, is nothing gets solved if we don't work together. We want
I
to work
agree.
together.
We understand that.
That's why I've been talking to your mom. I've been honest with her. I keep her informed. I tell her, I'll get back to her. I told her what's going on with everyone. I probably tell her too much, but I want to help her and take care of her.
And I
You-
appreciate that.
And
However, I
remember,
would
your mom,
appreciate
I've
if you
helped
do not
many times
continue
over
to
the-
say she doesn't want to stay in business and she wants to sell, because that is a very inaccurate story. And
I'm not going to put words in your mom's mouth. All I know is we have an
Well-
agreement that she wants and likes and found acceptable. And I'm trying to make that happen. And I'm trying very hard to make that happen. It doesn't help, though,
I appreciate
when
that.
people say other stuff that's not truthful. That's not right. And I've helped your mom over the years. She had issues with her gaming machines. I took care of that.
absolutely
She had issues
appreciate
during the
that.
pandemic. She said again, you saved me during the pandemic, helped me get the
And
PPP,
you are
Craig, thank you.
100%
Why
right.
would I do
She
all
always
that?
thought
if-
of you and her of having a very admirable.
And that's why I'm trying to help her this time.
Relationship.
Because remember this, Tina, if we don't buy it, Mr. XYZ walks in, your mom's gonna get 30 days notice and gone, nothing else. And legally, that's all they gotta do. That's it. John just admitted it. She stopped doing the lease stuff. And she can say whatever reason she don't wanna do
We
it, but in a
have
court of law,
Binding lease.
yes, but you don't.
We do.
You don't.
No, she didn't sign the extensions.
By her not signing the
She
extension.
never signed the extensions in the 40 years she was there. She
That's
was
why
never
it-
asked to do so.
Okay, but-
And every landlord that came in took the lease
And
she
Tina,
had and
you
ran
might,
with
Tina,
it.
you might be right, except for the past 7 months. She's writing under the memo section of her check, month to month, and she signs it. Here's a real estate
That is because
expert.
we have asked them several times,
we
the
agree.
But Tina,
landlords,
we agree with you on that.
to fix
but
our
you-
facility. We have rain coming in.
That's the
You've
point.
been at our place,
I
Jeff. You see
know.
buckets all over the
All
floor.
over 'em.
And Tina,
the
that's
food's
one
still
reason-
the best ever. I'll just throw that out.
Thank you.
But Tina, that's one reason we're doing what we're doing. But secondly, Tina, I know your reasoning makes sense, but it doesn't make legal sense. The bottom line is a court could care less on anything except it's in writing. And the writing your mom's provided to him is she wants to be on a month-to-month lease. And I said that to your mom. I said, Marie, you doing that, you just voided your contract and made it into a month-to-month contract. That's why I asked the lawyer. He said, yes, done. No court's going to rule differently. So what I'm saying is, that's why we're doing this. We're trying to help your mom where she would not get this help from anybody else. That's what I'm trying to say. We're trying to help her. We're trying to do the best we can. I've got to, and this board has to justify every dollar we spend. And we're working on that.
understand that.
That's why I'm working on to try to meet your mom's requirement. That's why this shouldn't be played out in a public forum. That's why I give Heather credit. Heather goes, give us our privacy, let us do this. Heather's right.
Well,
This should not be played out in the
so
court
what
of
happened
public
was,
opinion.
and I'll tell you what happened was, is when you went to the beauty shop and there were witnesses in the beauty shop that saw this come down, my mother didn't find out till the next day. Within 3 days, because we don't go back to work until Tuesday, we had the phone ringing off the hook. It had already gotten around the village. My mother didn't start any of this.
No, it was Facebook. Whoever put that first
No,
thing on
that came,
Facebook.
Jeff, that came in way after the point.
No,
We had
well, they came in,
customers,
but they talked about it. The point was, I was supposed to go in and talk to your mom because I've been there so long.
Mm-hmm.
But our days got, and so he went in on a Saturday and I was gonna go in on Monday, not thinking you're closed on Monday, but that was my plan. Well, your mom had called him that night, Saturday night, right? Craig?
and he was
That
at a
was that
Christmas
same
party.
night. Somebody came down from the mix or the other and talked to your mom, and then your mom called Craig, who wasn't out. He called me later at night, and it was later, and he said, did you get a chance? I go, no, I'm not supposed to go in there until Monday. And he goes, well, Marie knows about it already. I go, okay, well, I'm going in Monday, because I was going to get a root canal. Now, I was more afraid to talk to your mom than get a root canal, so that shows you how I feel about that. But of course, my dentist is right behind you. You guys are closed on Monday. Didn't even think. So I called him. We talked. I said, I'm going in there too. He called me Tuesday morning and said he had talked to your mom already on Monday night. And that was, okay, he went in on Saturday. By Monday, your mom was talked to. My point is, and again, the whole thing is this is all Facebook stuff, both pages, all these pages, probably 50 pages of people that got involved that don't know anything.
I
Right, yeah.
agree.
And the thing is, they think you're doing a favor, but then there's 10 people out there that hate the village no matter what. And they chime in, and unfortunately, 80% of these people that are chiming in on this are good people. And they're upset because they think we're taking away money. Believe me, I don't want it to go. Half my life was spent Saturdays also getting deliveries with Jack. So we don't want you guys to go away. But the point is all these people getting involved in rabble-rousing, now you got misinformation. I think the only people that should be talking from now on is since the mayor's doing a negotiation and your mom.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
just saying,
agree.
and this way, none of the other people are gonna throw their 2 cents
I
in.
agree
Because
with
there's
that.
people out there that don't care about munchies, they just care about this in the village.
Jumping on the bandwagon.
And
I
exactly,
get
and
it.
they're making it worse for you guys and for us.
Right,
Yes.
So I
totally
just
agree.
hope that, and you know, we've known each other a long time and all that. I mean, we've never, ever tried to screw anybody over business-wise. As you can see what we've done with all the other businesses. We're working and trying to do the best, and he's trying to negotiate to try to get a dollar where your mom will be happy with. I'd rather see you go somewhere else and
And
keep
that has
running.
not ever been out of the question for my mother.
No,
She-
and again, that's why I'm just saying, everybody's out here throwing out all these different things, the different scenarios. That's why I hope Marie and Craig can sit together and get it all straightened
I
out.
do too.
Where they're
We've-
happy.
We've got a deal. Marie and I've got a deal she's happy with, I'm happy with. Just give me time to make sure we can get the money.
Okay.
The deal's done. And that's why, the good news is, when you finally posted the thing that your mom and I, we were working together,
Yep.
that, you notice how everything died down?
Oh,
It's
sure.
all
it'll
died
s-
down.
it'll stay
Because-
that way, too.
Exactly. If that would have happened from the beginning, all had to be said from the first day is, yep, the village reached out to us, we're working on something, we'll let you know when we know something. That's all that should be said. Okay. People would walk away. You know, no one, you notice there's not articles much except for that one part about the mix, which was not true. But you notice, and that's why I give Heather so much credit. She right away went online and said, folks, that's not what happened. The mayor came on the 16th, we talked during the week, everything's going fine, leave us alone, we're getting this worked out. It all went away. No one talks about the mix anymore because we're getting it done. Same thing happened with Munchies. Just leave it alone, we're going to get it done. And again, the last thing you want is for us to finally get to the point and say, you know what, this is a bunch of BS. We're done, we're walking away. And about a week later, I guarantee someone's going to walk in and say, hey, I bought your building, you got 30 days, have a nice day, goodbye. They don't know you from Adam, they could care less what you write about on Facebook. That's what's going to happen next.
And I don't
I
care
don't
about
want that to
Facebook. We still
happen.
have a binding lease.
I'm saying, that's why I don't want this to happen. I want you to be taken care of. That's why we're doing what we're doing. If I didn't care, Tina, I would never have helped your mom over the years. You know, she was so thankful during the PPP thing
You
and all
were
the rest.
wonderful to us.
Exactly.
I totally
And I'm
admit
still
that.
wonderful to you. You got a building that the owner says has to go. You know it's got to go. Anyone there knows it's got to
No
go.
one is debating you on that whatsoever.
So now we're trying to
So
find
we-
a solution.
The very first thing we wanted before we wanted any money or any payout, which is still not even a sure thing, is we wanted to remain in business. My mother's 74 years old. Jeff will tell you, I've been trying to keep her out of that restaurant for 10 years, and she won't have it.
But
She
Tina,
won't have it.
She said
And
from
she's
day
already
one-
told me she's got to find another job.
And she told me from day one, Tina, when I first talked to her, I don't want to move anywhere. Let's talk about something else. That's what she told me from day one. And, you know, she said she's talked about in the past about maybe sell out. She told me the dollar figures she was looking for back then. And all, she went through all that with me. I said, well, Tina, Marie, it's not going to be this. I said, what can be? She gave me a dollar figure. I said, now I got a figure. That seems somewhat reasonable. Let me see if I can make it work. That's where we've left it. And she was very happy. But she goes, I know, gets anxious. Have you heard anything, Craig? Do you know something yet, Craig? And I
Yes,
keep
she's been
saying,
very
Tina-
anxious, but it's more anxiety when the phone is ringing off the hook and
And that's why
customers
hopefully
are
tonight
coming
we
in
put that to
nonstop,
rest.
drilling her with questions about what is going on, and she has nothing to tell them.
But Tina, that's why go on your website and put on all the places you put it. Say, hey, folks, we're working good with the
We don't
village.
have a website.
When you go on the
Talk about
Facebook stuff.
Facebook.
we
No,
keep
no, I
placing
think
our
we did,
stuff.
you did that already.
We don't have a Facebook
But you
Go
page
did-
on,
either.
but no, go on there and say, hey, folks,
I think we did that
I
already.
talked to the mayor again today. We're working together. My mom and Craig are working together. They seem to have maybe an agreement in place. Give them time to get it finished up. Just say that and everything will stop like that. I guarantee it'll all go away. Because that's what's happening. That's what your mom kept saying to me for the last 3 weeks. January 3rd, she said it. She said last Tuesday. She goes, Craig, what can I do to stop this? I said, tell them the truth, Marie. Tell them the truth.
When is the
and it
closing
will-
date on the mall?
The what?
The closing date on the mall?
We don't have it yet. We're in a due diligence period. The 90 days are a due diligence period. In other words, during 90 days, we have to work out an agreement with the tenants. If we get it all worked out, then we'll set a closing date. If we don't get it worked out, we walk away, then someone else is going to come in. That's what's going to happen. I think we can make it work. Heather's been going great. Your mom and I have a deal. It should happen. That's what I'm saying. But until it's done, it's not done. That's why Heather was great when she said, leave us alone, don't bother us. Let us do our work.
Well, I did put that also, please do not bombard my mother with questions. Because
But,
it is overwhelming.
Tina, it would be nice
And
if
we
you
have
also
no-
said,
And people say to my mother constantly, you've been in the village 40 years, how do you not have answers? How
Well,
do you reply to
Time,
that?
though, and that's
But-
the thing.
Right, but when you're
Taking some
speaking to
time.
a 74-year-old woman whose
I-
livelihood has only been this, that's a little difficult to swallow.
I understand, but a lot of these people are causing the problem. That just keep, believe me, I talk of this whole week, last week, I mean, twice a day I had to explain what's going on with Munchies because this and that. Well, how can you guys do this? And I go, you got to listen to the whole story. We don't want to hurt Munchies. We don't want to do that. We're working, trying to do it. He's trying to figure out how to get to that point. And it's going to take a little time to do it. But then just tell everybody else, hey, just sit back and wait. But it can't because you're going to have the people on Facebook that want to rabble-rouse. They're going to get everybody all fired up. And it's not going to work for anybody. And it's just going to tick off your side, all sides. So thing is that's why your mom and the mayor need to get together and figure it all out and leave the rest of us out of it.
we've got to figure it out. We're just waiting to finish up the deal. It's a done deal with your mom. We're just waiting to finish it up. That's it. And it would help, Tina, if you can go on and just say, folks, the village is working with my mom. It's all going to be worked out. Just say that. Just say that, and it'll all go away. Tina, it's true. It is true.
hope so.
Tina, your mom and I worked it out, like, say, 4 weeks ago now. Today's the 23rd. A month ago, by dates, we had it worked out. And
I will ask her,
yeah,
for sure.
ask her
when
the
I'm
dollar amount.
in
She'll
the
tell
car
you.
on the way home.
If she tell you the dollar amount, she'll give you the dollar amount. She'll tell everything. Because your mom said to me 1,000 times, Craig, after 40 years, I just want to leave with something. Craig, after 40 years, I want to leave with something.
We're entitled.
And that's,
She's
now,
entitled
some
to.
people might say, that's not the government's responsibility to leave you something. You should have done that on your own. But I don't agree with that. I want to try to help your mom resolve everything. The board wants to help your mom resolve things. That's what we're trying to do here. We are bending over backwards like you'll never see government bend over. But we want to do it for everyone involved.
All right. I appreciate your time.
Okay?
All right, let's get it done.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, we'll move on to, I feel sorry for people here for Christmas awards and stuff. I apologize. If you folks are here for Munchies, want to go now, by all means, you can get going now. If you want to stick around, you're welcome to stay. Remember, on February 3rd, we have a coffee with the board from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and hopefully by then we get everything resolved. We'll see. Barbie come down for the Lions Club? Bring all your people in. How you do? Are you gonna speak?
I will speak.
I got you set.
I'm gonna make you feel tall.
You're good. It's all yours.
Okay, good evening, everybody. For those of you that do know me or don't know me, my name is Barb Latnin. I am one of the officers of the Elk Grove Village Lions Club. We have been in the village since 1958, so we're a very old club, very stable club. We enjoy serving the community and doing a lot of things to help the residents. One of the things that we've done over the past few years, which we inherited from the Elk Grove Village Lioness, and we inherited it from the JCCs, was to judge the holiday house decorations. And this enabled homeowners to just have a little bit of bragging rights and show everybody in the village what their homes look like at Christmas time and to share everything that they're doing. So tonight, what club members are here, we would like to present the awards for the top 4 winning homes or apartments.
Here's one that did not make it. You
Okay.
have to deliver, you can let them know who it is.
Okay. The winner of the 2023 House Decorating Contest for the best overall holiday decorations on a condo or an apartment was Anthony Mazinas at 1105 Driftwood Court, apartment 125 And you would be able to see his apartment from Wellington Avenue, and he did a beautiful job. He was unable to make it tonight, but the plaque that was given for him does have a picture of his beautiful artwork.
Okay. We'll do best overall last. Let's do best theme first.
Okay. The best theme display was the Esmail family at 650 Easton Lane. Are you here tonight?
We drove them out.
This particular house had a huge green Christmas tree. If you did drive around, the village does post where all of the locations are, and they do supply a map. And the figures that were in the tree appeared on the top of the house and in the picture window. It was all synchronized. They had music, and it was something to behold. And it showed creative use of everything that they did. It provided a lot of enjoyment for us. I know a lot of us were there for quite a while looking at it.
It was something to look at.
It really
Yeah,
was. I have never seen anything like that. Okay, best creative use of decorations was 520 Crest Avenue. Michael, are you here? Would you like to come down?
You, Michael?
Yep.
So it's your project, huh?
You were fantastic.
Congratulations, thank you. Here, come on up, Michael. Ask us some
I'm gonna
questions.
get down.
Barb down.
Yeah, Barb down.
Okay. So this is your brainchild.
Yes.
Okay. How long does it take you to set everything up?
About a week to get everything.
That's not too bad.
Well, this is the one answer. When did he start doing this? That's
Oh,
the question.
No, it's preparing everything took much longer. Start like in the summer.
April.
beautiful. So it's like a year-long project.
Always thinking about it.
Okay. Well, it sure paid off. You did a great job.
Yeah.
So now is everything, how long does it take you to take everything down?
It's still not down. The snow interrupted the taking down process, but
Well, you did a phenomenal job. Well, we want to congratulate you, and you worked so hard, work a year here. Hang on, fill these pockets up. Hang on, share some with your dad too. So,
I just
enjoy
started
it.
gym, so I cannot.
Well, congratulations. We appreciate everything. Sorry I had to wait so long tonight. Apologize.
Absolutely. It was
There you go. Take care, Michael. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, and the best overall holiday decorations on a house went to the Eduardo Munoz family at 711 Penrose Avenue. Are you here? Yeah. Please come. For those of you who did drive around or you did not see this home,
You couldn't miss it.
you couldn't miss it. In all the years of judging that I've been doing, I have never seen anything like this. It's so impressive. So get ready for next year, because you're going to have to beat this.
They also do quite a Halloween.
You do Halloween
You do
also.
quite a Halloween. You live right next door to the Crows.
Hi, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
Good.
Who's going to be the speaker? Who's going to be the spokesperson?
My son.
Come on. Right, your neighbors, aren't you neighbors with the Crows? They live on Brantwood, you live on, at the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go down that street a lot, go to my daughter's place. And every time you could see the giant inflatable, and I mean, and like I say, you do Halloween too. You do a heck of a display. So is that your brainchild?
Halloween is mine, but my dad's is the Christmas.
Okay, so you each have a season.
But we help my dad with
Now, I
Christmas.
saw everything's down, because I went by the other day,
Yeah.
and everything's down. How long, because you have so much up for Halloween, so you gotta take it down and immediately start doing Christmas. So when do you start your Halloween decorations?
Like mid-September.
Mid-September, and you took down the last year Christmas when? Mid-January?
I think we took it like right a week after Christmas. I
You guys
think.
go-
Yeah.
So you're going constantly from, so Commonwealth Edison loves you folks with all your decorating. So how'd you come up with because I know you got the hoops going over the sidewalks and all that. What's your inspirations? What makes you think? Do you see other houses?
He
Do you
was-
see things in books?
He watches a lot of the movie Deck the Halls.
Deck the halls.
So he
Yeah.
wants to come close to it.
So you get it from TV? Oh my God. Now, my biggest question is, where do you store all that stuff?
Garage.
In the garage.
It all goes in the garage there.
Halloween and Christmas.
So you can't pull cars in the garage?
One.
One.
Only one.
So now, is it like a contest? You try to do a better Halloween against his Christmas? Or
I just tried my best. We try our best.
you both?
Yeah.
So you're going to do Halloween next year?
Yeah.
And you'll do Christmas? Yeah. And you like it too?
Yeah, I help him do.
You help them? So they couldn't do it without you, could they? No? Okay, well, I want to give you all, it was a phenomenal job. I'll start with this guy first. There you go, buddy. That's for you. There, since you're the spokesman, you need a good amount. That's for you.
Thank you.
And for mom and dad, one each. Congratulations on a great job. Thank you. Okay, to the Lions Club, who's going to have a bigger and better 4th of July. Anything you want to talk about?
Sure, I'll talk about it.
Update us on that. For the Beach Boys?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I just want to thank everybody that did enter for Halloween and the holiday house decorations. Thank you for helping the residents have something to do and to enjoy the work that you have done. The Elk Grove Village Lions themselves this year, every year we've always had an event going on for 4th of July, the fireworks, and the last few years we've had entertainment. This year, thanks to Mayor Johnson and the trustees, we are going to have the Beach Boys. And that's someone special for a lot of us that have been here. So we're all excited about that. And then we are going to be partnering with the Rotary, and we're actually having a beer tent this year again. So this is something we haven't had in years, since we had the carnival here, years and years ago. So we're looking forward to seeing you all on 4th of July. We help serve for Memorial Day and tree lighting and next year's Christmas and holiday house decoration.
Now,
Thank you.
You're going to have Tasty Catering?
We work with Tasty Catering,
For the food?
and we do
The
some
beer?
of the, we're doing beer, and then we'll be doing like our usual corn on the cob and snacks like that.
And all the money you raise goes back into the community.
It goes into the community. Actually, the majority of what we do collect does stay within the village. And our goal is to serve and help people with sight, hearing needs, and things that we do to make all your lives better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anyone that wants to go now to the award stuff, you're welcome to. Yes. I didn't think it was going to be that long tonight, huh? I told you. Okay, move on now to trustees' report. We'll start with trustee Jerish.
I just wanted to reiterate what the mayor said earlier. We have coffee with the mayor and the board on February 3rd at 9 a.m. And just a reminder that when you come to that meeting, if you plan on participating with a question, please make sure you sign in. That is, we go through the sign-in list, and that's how we know who would like to speak. You can come and just observe, but if you plan on participating, please sign in and wait your turn until your question is. That's my report.
Thank you. Trustee Schmidt.
Yes, on Monday, January 29th at 6:30, the Italian Sister Cities group will be meeting with our students and parents to prepare for the second phase of our student exchange program, where our students from Elk Grove High School will be visiting the students in Tammany and Mercy in March. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Prochnow.
Thank you. Just a reminder that we still have the Winter Farmers Market going on the first and third Saturday of the month, and this will go all the way through to spring from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Christus Victor Church, which is on Arlington Heights Road, right across from the movie theater. Some of the things that I personally purchased last weekend at the market, I bought some Valentine's and St. Patrick's Day decorations from one table. I bought an apple caramel cheesecake pie that I served for my brother-in-law when he came over on Saturday night, and he definitely got his approval. I bought some homemade pet treats, and I bought a pair of winter gloves. And that's just a few of the things that they're offering at the Winter Farmers Market. So don't forget the first and third Saturday of the month at Christus Victor from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then, just to continue my soapbox, first I want to thank Village Manager Matt. I was not able to make it here for the last meeting, but he did announce for me my snow shoveling box that I always take in the wintertime, being that I want to remind everybody that it's important to shovel your sidewalk. It's not required, but it's very important. We have a lot of people out there walking on the sidewalks, walking their pets, walking to and from locations, walking for exercise, and we've had some very unsafe conditions so far in the last couple of weeks, and I would appreciate it, even though I've been teased on Facebook about this, I'm not giving up on this. If you have a neighbor that needs help, handicapped or elderly, and you have the time and the ability, give them a helping hand and help out the rest of. That's why we're the exceptional community, because we take care of one another. So please, let's make our sidewalks safe for everyone. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Frankie?
Oh, boy. Actually, I have been requested by a resident who used to sit up here how the root canal went, and it went well. So I just want to point that out, that it wasn't as painful as.
I'm glad you took care of it, because it could turn into something way worse.
Thank you. Oh, yes, you would know. You know.
I
don't
would
you?
know.
So, that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Bush?
I'm going to go no report because I can't top any of that.
Okay,
Good
move
man.
on to the accounts payable warrant for January 23rd, 2024.
I move that we approve the accounts payable warrant for January 23rd, 2024, in the amount of $307,145.35.
We have a motion by trustee Prochnow, a second
Second.
by trustee Jerish. Lori, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Frankie?
Aye.
Trustee Jerish?
Aye.
Trustee Miller? Oops. Trustee Prochnow?
Aye.
Trustee Schmidt?
Aye.
Trustee Bush?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. And luckily, you didn't say trustee Fighter,
We
so
talked
you're
about
okay.
that earlier. That's what I
You're
was
good.
joking about before the meeting.
Okay, tonight we have consent agenda items A through Apple through D as in David. I need a motion.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Frankie, second by trustee Bush. Any questions, comments? Anyone in the audience wish to address us on the consent agenda? Seeing none, hearing none, recorded votes, please demonstrate it. 5-0. Regular agenda, Mr. Roan.
We have two items. We have two items on the regular agenda. Both deal with the wingspan development at Arlington and Higgins. And I believe you need to call for a vote on both of these items individually.
Okay, the first item is resolution number 7-24. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Bush, second by trustee Frankie. I know trustee Jerish is going to excuse herself from the vote. Lloyd, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Prochnow?
Aye.
Trustee Schmidt?
Aye.
Trustee Bush?
Aye.
Trustee Frankie?
Aye.
And Trustee Jerish?
Abstain.
Okay, item B is resolution 8-24. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Frankie, second by trustee Schmidt. Just so everyone knows, these are the RDA redevelopment agreements for the wingspan development. Just the formality of getting them adopted and in place. Everything that we discussed over the past year or so is included in here. The time framing where they first do the retail portion along Higgins, second portion after they move the retail businesses into the new spots, they'll tear down the old strip shopping center, build the residential component. Again, every tenant except for the imaging place, every tenant is staying in the new development, which is something we strive to work hard to make sure we achieved. Okay, with that said, Lloyd, can you call the roll?
Trustee Prochnow?
Aye.
Trustee Schmidt?
Aye.
Trustee Bush?
Aye.
Trustee Frankie?
Aye.
Trustee Jerish?
Abstain.
The motion passes 4-0 to one abstention. We now move on to Plan Commission, Mr. Rowan.
We have no items under Plan Commission and no items under Zoning Board of Appeals.
Very good. Recycling Waste Committee, trustee Frankie.
No report.
Judiciary Planning and Zoning Committee, trustee Prochnow.
No report.
Can tell when it gets late, can't we? Capital Improvements Committee, trustee Schmidt.
We're going to meet, the Capital Improvements Committee is going to meet on January 31st at the Public Works Facility to discuss our 2024 street resurfacing program. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Cable Television Committee, trustee Jerish.
Just a quick one. Elk Grove TV has completed their rollout of its new playback system and our new program on demand system, as well as you can find us on the Roku channel. So be patient over the next few months. The EGTV will be loading programs onto the on-demand site. So eventually, we should be getting all 39 years of programming available for you to select. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Youth Committee, trustee Bush.
No report?
Information Committee, trustee Miller. Not here. Anybody got anything to add for? Okay. Business Leaders Forum, trustee Schmidt.
No report.
Health and Community Services, trustee Prochnow.
Yes, thank you. Did you know that every 2 seconds, someone in the United States is in need of blood or platelets, totaling approximately 29,000 units of red blood cells and 5,000 units of platelets needed per day across the country? Blood donations help patients of all ages, accident and burn victims, heart surgery and organ transplant patients, and those battling cancer. On that note, I would like to remind everybody of the upcoming blood drive on Saturday, February 3rd, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. in room E. Please remind residents, let me remind you of the upcoming meetings. We have a very low registration right now. However, that always picks up near the end. Residents can make an appointment by calling 877-258-4825 or visiting www.vitalant.org. More information can be found at www.elkgrove.org/blood drive. That's the same day as our coffee with the board, so if you'd like, come on and donate some blood, then join us at the coffee and enjoy some wonderful Jerish Bakery treats. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Prochnow. Personnel Committee, trustee Schmidt.
No report.
No report on the airport, correct, Maggie? Nothing? Nope. You see the articles, how they're now battling about the cost of some of the terminals, and that was the supposedly $6 billion expansion that's going to probably end up being $60 billion plus when it's all said and done. Unbelievable. Parade Committee, we have our first meeting the first Monday in February, which would be around the 5th, I think. So that's coming up. Okay, Mr. Storino, you notice this handsome man sitting next to me. He is very aptly filling in for Mr. Knickerbocker, who's not here tonight. And definite upgrade in appearance as far as, you know.
Thank you.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
Have you heard of the lineup for our summer concerts yet this year?
Well, I know the Beach Boys are coming.
So 4th of July, we have the Beach Boys.
Okay.
Then the next Tuesday, we have Martina McBride.
Oh, wow.
Then the next week, we have a band you won't know, because I don't know. Most of us up here have no clue. Neon Trees.
Nope.
Thank
don't
you. Then the next one after that, the Four Tops.
know. Oh, wow.
And then we finish up with Brett Michaels,
That's a great lineup.
our summer
It really is.
concert series.
That's a great lineup.
And all free to the community. All free. No cover charge, no nothing. And you can bring your own food, bring your own drinks, whatever you want. Or there's going to be drinks available. So, not a bad summer, huh?
Great summer. Have you published the dates for these?
Oh, yeah, it's all been
Okay.
put out. I'm just waiting for you to buy a house in Elk Grove.
I'm looking.
Don does a great job for us. Special Events Committee, next one, I think, is Memorial Day. So they'll be come up inside, and should be a great
Yes.
event. Liquor Commission,
Soon enough.
no report. Report from Village Manager.
No report.
And from our Village Clerk.
No report.
No report. Unfinished business, let me check. Yep, as usual, attorneys, you have nothing under there. Any new business items for any trustees tonight?
I do, I forgot to.
Trustee
I
Prochnow?
forgot to report, our crossing guard at Salt Creek School, Luann, asked me if I would give a public shout out to Colby and the public Public Works Department. They personally came out during that ice storm this morning, and she was crossing the children at the intersection in front of the school. And the Public Works employees got out of the truck, hand shoveled the entire intersection so the children would remain safe while crossing. And that's just a small example of all the wonderful things that the Public Works does for us. And so shout out and thank you for all that you do.
So that's at JFK and Eden?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Thank you. It's been tough, hasn't it, Kobe?
Tough year.
This ice was unbelievable tough. But you notice, District 54 closed their schools. There's a couple in Elk Grove, but the vast majority in Schaumburg. But Elk Grove, most schools in 59 are in Elk Grove, they stayed open. So
For some reason, yeah.
59
That's
kids
'cause
must
of
be
the
tougher.
heat beat, you know.
Now, 59 kids must be tougher than 54 kids. Huh?
There's 28 schools in 54.
I'm teasing Trustee Bush. Trustee Bush lives on the west side. His kids go to 54 schools. That's why I'm teasing him. Yeah, she works for the school too.
And your daughter.
My daughter teaches
My
there.
daughter does too.
Oh, she's in 54? Oh, I didn't know Kelly's in 54.
Did they bring you lunch on their day off?
Do they what?
Did they bring you guys lunch on their day off today?
They call and ask money.
So they could buy lunch. Eh?
They're waiting for us to bring them lunch, I'm sure. Okay, now we move on to public comments. Anybody wish to address the board this evening? Sure, come on down. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Michael Urban, 170 Willow Lane, Elk Grove Village. I want to talk about the 25 Turner Avenue situation. We named off the Mix, Turner Liquors, Munchies. There's other businesses inside 25 Turner that have small offices, but the one
Hang on.
spot,
You said 25 Turner?
yeah.
There's only 3 businesses. There's no other businesses inside there.
Okay,
There's
so one of the spots is 11 Turner, that is part of the property. I was gonna be the 4th business to be relocated there. Originally, a year ago, I came in front of this board and I spoke about the condition inside 11 Turner. I have pictures on my phone right now, still saved on my phone. It's a complete disaster inside. It's a tornado, like the bathroom's no other. It's not even recognizable in the back. Apparently some years ago there was the roof collapsed and the inside had to be dried out, and the previous owner just wanted to get rid of it and not repair anything. So I was looking at the spot about a year ago, and I got some general contractors in there, and I was about to invest $50,000 into that spot. And this was just last year, February. And I was gonna be doing a 2 to 3 month project inside that spot at 50 grand. And luckily I did not do so, because I'll be part of this debacle with 25 Turner, and I'd basically be thrown, shown the door as well, just like Munchies and the other businesses are being shown the door. And it would ruin my holidays for sure. But luckily it didn't, because I moved my business to Roselle, just 2 doors down from Italian Pizza Kitchen. My display cases just came in today through the store, and beautiful setup and everything, and opening this weekend.
Bless you.
It's unfortunate I had to make that step and move elsewhere, but a year ago I was looking at 11 Turner, and I know how disastrous it is inside that location. It's just unacceptable at the end of the day. And
I'm glad
like I
you
said,
agree with us for changing it. That's
I had
good.
contractors there looking at it, and IHO remodeling that's in Elk Grove Village, they're estimating 60,000 grand. And it's just, it's sad that the past landlords, Spavesh, Kalani, and the past owners kind of put the building in disrepair. And now, basically when the village steps in and they see all this disrepair and this disinvestment, they're kind of doing the same thing. And, it just kind of flies in my face, because I could have been part of that same situation, because I could have been the 4th business. Windy City Breakers, trading cards and collectibles. We sell football, baseball, basketball, Pokemon, hockey, collectibles, mini helmets, you name it. It's just unfortunate that these businesses have to relocate. And I wish there was something the village could do in terms of helping these businesses so they don't have to leave the village completely. Because they are a staple to this village, just like I want to be a staple to.
Well, I'm glad you agree with what we're doing. It's so bad, they do need it, you're right, they need to be
Yeah.
gone. The building's gotta be torn down and redeveloped, and, and we're working with the businesses, just like you said. We're doing exactly what you said, so thank you, we appreciate your support.
Yes.
And I'm
then-
glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
And then, Turner Liquors, I've met that owner when I was visiting the property, and he's invested some money into as a store. There are store owners like the Mix and Munchies, whatever investment they put into the building. So that has to be considered as well. So
And that's why we're
everything
working with
needs to be
them.
looked at because at the end of the day, I know how bad the building is in terms of what shape it is in, the roof and all that. So I hope the village got extreme discount because I've met the previous owner and he was not budging on anything and he wanted top dollar for his stuff. So the village is going to purchase the building. Hopefully it's on an extreme discount because I know how
We did
bad
very
it
well.
is.
We did very well.
Okay.
We're good at this, and we did
Okay.
very well. Thank you. I'm glad you agreed with
Yes.
us. I appreciate that. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Thank you, board. Thank you, trustees.
Thank you.
Good night, Mike.
Okay, anybody else tonight? Helen, you got the trustees coming soon?
February 27th.
Yeah,
When was that again?
Hang on.
Joe works for the school district, so
February
I said, if
27th.
you just stop by for 5 or 10 minutes and take the time, I'd appreciate it, because he's a new trustee, I'd like him to just meet him.
And we'll be there on February, we'll have some students there on February 13th to help the senior citizens with cell phones. So sign up and get people out there.
Don't go on Facebook on your cell phone.
What kind
No.
of, wait a minute, what kind of help are you giving to seniors?
It's top secret.
Wait, I'm a senior, I want to know.
I will show up on the 13th.
Yeah. I like this guy.
How to make phone calls? No, usually it's 90% of it is email. How do I get email on my phone? That is every senior question, and our kids will be great at helping you get that.
Certainly. That's where I learned all my stuff.
All right, we'll be there.
I want to get the Jewel thing on my phone.
Oh, they can do that for you.
Well, I may be signing
Jewel
up.
app?
The Jewel, I got it halfway on.
Okay, anything else? Emil, how you doing tonight? Everyone noticed his hair, right?
What
Poor,
hair?
poor Samson.
He still has
handsome.
power.
He's good. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
With motion by trustee Bush, second by trustee Jerish. Lori, call the roll, please.
Trustee Schmidt?
Aye.
Trustee Bush? Trustee Frankie?
Aye.
Trustee Jerish?
Aye.
Trustee Precknell?
Aye.
Motion adjourned passes 5-0. Folks, have a good evening. See you in 3 weeks. Meeting adjourned.